Howdy, my name is Dylan, or Green Gog, and I've been playing the One Piece card game for about 2 years, and I want to start making some videos and as an excuse to analyze my own gameplay and hopefully improve the game, and hopefully you find this useful. So today we're going to be doing some Rocks D Xebec ranked games. I'm going to be reviewing those, and I'm going to be commentating over them, analyzing my thought process, and also pointing out mistakes or things that I think I could have done better. Real quickly, I want to go over the deck list. As you can see here, I don't think it's anything too spectacular. And I think that deck building for Xebec is fairly limited, and I think it's a lot more about player skill expression, but I still want to go over the list. For Strucin, for Kyo, I want to be as consistent as I possibly can. For Marlin, I think a lot of times I'd say probably most of the time he's better going first than Stussy, or equivalent. If you can get like Marlin, or if you can leader effect pitch an event, Marlin pull it back. It can be good to establish Stussy just for like a later game freeze, but it just feels like a lot of the time you're just playing a 3-cost 5k. I have a split of 4 Kaido, 2 John. I like John, but I think that his use is very limited in that I feel like it's really only good in maybe like Mihawk. And we'll see, the first game is actually a Mihawk game, so it'll be interesting. I'm not running the Usopp event just because I think it's a little fake. I might test it out later. For Gloriosa, Linlin. Linlin is an interesting character because I've thought about cutting it down, but I think it's just so important to get it on 5 going first. Obviously Newgate, Rocks, the events. So I think a very standard list and not too different than what you'd see. But I am running I think the 4 of Kaido is the only thing that is maybe a little bit different. Okay, first game versus Mihawk. We do have, okay, maybe 2x speed is not a good idea. Holy shit. Let's do 1x. We do get first, which is not ideal. And our hand is looking okay. We have 3-drop event, so I feel like going first is about as good as you could hope for. So what we're going to do is we're going to swing, drop, pitch the event, Marlon, pull that event back, just like I had talked about. But obviously this is not a good start in general. He gets Coffin Boat Perona, so he's able to play fairly Dawn efficiently. I think this is gets a lot of Beppo, which we may or may not see later. I think this matchup is probably your worst matchup. I don't think it's like terribly bad either way. I chose to pitch the other event there because I don't want him to have the unblockable information, although unblockable event doesn't really matter in this matchup. The reason I think this matchup is difficult is if you get first and Mihawk sees what they need to see, it's like impossible. So here, just take the first one because there's 2k out of the second attack anyway. I have the Linlin, so I'm okay countering here. And basically, how this game plays out is you build your board and you just hope that they don't have enough electrical lunas to stop you from killing them. So we just build our board. We're technically starving just because there's not a swing that goes above like their leader. Also on this turn, what we don't want to see is Mihawk into Odin, freezing our Linlin. That would be bad. That means that one of our more viable swings, which is the Linlin, doesn't get swing. And then there's the Mihawk into the Odin. So yeah, this is just like the ideal start from our opponent. I am considering so what are we going to? We're going to 7. I am considering bottom decking this Odin, but I think we're just going to play at the Newgate because I want to make sure that I can start swinging into leader. And also, the Odin isn't like a very high power character, so we're just going to probably stay at 4 here because our hand size is still extremely healthy. We're probably just going to, we take that. Interesting. I think, probably thinking back about it, I probably would have 2K'd that since we're just going to play at this Newgate next turn. Because you want to stay like generally healthy, I feel, against Mihawk, because in the late game you have to take a lot of the 10-drop Shanks hits and the possible leader hits. that, because if they play like Law Beppo, rest stage, restand 3, they can Luna and swing for 10 still. So it does become really difficult to counter out of this text later. We play down the new gate. We finally get Shiki. I do think the new gate a lot of times is just better because their characters aren't. Even if we had the Sheik in hand, I might still play the new gate. I feel like a lot about this, especially even in the mirror. I like playing Newgate over Shiki just because Newgate gives you offensive and defensive capabilities without having to expose your characters. More important than the mirror than it is here, but he's gonna swing 7. I think this is just an easy Newgate effect. He's deciding what he wants to draw in trash. Ditch the Linlin probably. I think Linlin just like does not come up. It's possible there's like a 10-drop Linlin. You can see I'm sort of mulling it over. You can also drop Marlon. I don't think we're playing again. Choose to drop the Kaido, which is interesting. I think I'm thinking about the 10-drop play that I might want to like Linlin Kaido, but I really don't think that is super feasible, or it's not. It's just not. The issue in this matchup is really not that you're not going to be able to control their board. It's that they're going to be able to control yours, which I think is why this matchup is so difficult. So this is, I think, just an easy Newgate Linlin effect. So Linlin, I guess we're probably pitching Linlin here anyway. We take, oh no, I Newgated the Mihawk swing already. So yeah, this is what I was talking about. If I had the if I had countered 2K earlier, I would be going to 2 here instead of 1, and that might buy me an extra turn later. So I think maybe that is a sort of crucial mistake on my part. We do have a 10-drop, we do have a Shiki. Most likely, I am considering going for Kaido into Gloriosa. So Gloriosa, bottom the active Odin, and then reduce the Mihawk. But I am just gonna Shiki. Reason being is that I think next turn he's just going to play out a Shanks is my thought process at the time. So I use Shiki effect on Mihawk instead of the Odin because this attack requires 2Ks. Most of the events are only on leader. So I'm fairly confident that if I reduce the Mihawk, I can get I can get both the Mihawk and the Odin. So now we're gonna swing 6 into the Mihawk. This I feel like incentivizes him to just let it go. I don't really want to swing the, what was I gonna say? I don't want to swing any of my 8s into the into the Mihawk because I don't want him to ever be able to save it. So he just lets it go. I think that's smart on his part because it's like really his win condition is not going to be leaving these Odins alive, and it's gonna be a lot easier for him to counter out of this swing on leader than it is for him to be to counter a swing on the Odin. Yeah, because he just needs one event. I guess either way, it's the same in this scenario because I think that event can protect characters because you have to rest 2. Okay, so here we go. Here's the 10 cost Shanks. He's gonna rest stage, and then yeah, having this other Odin around is annoying at this point. But we do have Shiki, so we're just gonna Shiki this. I almost click on. I've made this mistake before. I almost click on Newgate because I'm like, oh yeah, 3K counter. But no, you just Shiki because it's a character and you can't use. You can't use what's it called on leader. So now leader, and I'm really shitting my pants at this point because I see that he has 3 Dawn. I know that if he Luna's here, it's not necessarily over, but I'm gonna have a very, very difficult time. Let's see. Yep. So he does Luna, freezes our whole board. So at this point, I'm looking at my options here. I'm gonna pause the video here, and just really think about my plan and my options. The difficulty with going, I just have to Captain John, right? I don't think there's really another option. I think probably the best thing, because if we don't Captain John here, I think we just always die. So most likely it's going to be something like 10 drop Captain John Gloriosa, bottom the Odin. Um, Other options, I could just not go for the 10 drop. I could Stussy, freeze Odin, Stussy, freeze Shanks, and then Captain John over the Marlin is a possibility, but the issue with that is if they have another Luna, I kind of need the 10 cost string or swing. So I'm thinking I'm just going to 10 drop Gloriosa, bottom the Odin, and play out the John and cycle a card. Play out over Strusen, Big Mom. You know what? No, there's no way to play over. A thing I would like to do is when you play out two characters, being able to play over the first character you play off of 10 cost and still get its on play, but unfortunately that is not how it works. So I'm really deliberating here. I think okay, so I end up not going for the 10 cost play. We are going to go for the Stussy into Captain John play. I feel like this is a mistake, specifically because of that Luna play. If he no, but the issue is we did see he had Law Beppo earlier, right? But that doesn't require him to have. No, I think either way, this game comes down to how many Lunas he has, because we know he has a Law Beppo in hand because he searched it like at the beginning of the game. So that being the case, either way, my 10 cost is getting frozen. It's a question of, does he have the Luna to be able to freeze my board again? Because if he doesn't have the Luna, I think probably this turn we win. Um, I mean, no, he needs Luna or I Know You're Strong, because I think he can. Because if he 10 drops, rest stage, I Know You're Strong. Oh no, but then we can save the John if he does that. In this scenario, okay, so he does this. He rest stage, stands 3. I had a thought about this on this John. Because he has a Luna here, right? So he swings 8. Oh, so no Luna. Okay, interesting. Oh, I see what I do. I think I go for a 10 drop the following turn. I really want to analyze this. This, I'm thinking about saving it. I think I do end up saving it. Ditch that, and then it's a 2K 2K with the 2 like bounce events. So, let me think. All right. Here's the trouble. He has 2 active Dawn and 3 life. Even if I do some shenanigans, I think I do remember kind of what I do here. Because I want him to use the events, I think I end up swinging wide. Let's just see how I play it out, because what I think I do a fairly smart play here, because I can't really 10 drop, because, well, let's see. Let's actually, I know I don't 10 drop, so let's see what a 10 drop play would have looked like. Because I don't, yeah. If you look at my hand, what I'd be looking for off a 10 drop is maybe like another Newgate to be able to swing my leader even bigger and have more defensive capabilities. But because my hand looks like Gloriosa Kaido, I probably think about that. I'm like, what is the point of Gloriosa Kaido if he's just going to rest my whole board? I think that's just some like really difficult scenarios here. I think I just poke here, see what he gives me. So he gives me a 1K. Probably just gonna poke again with leader, ditch. Okay, we ditch the Marlon, pull some stuff. So now we do have, oh, okay. I do ditch that Big Mom. I don't know if I should have done that, because we can do 5-4, but yeah, again, what does that really get us? It's possible. We know, okay, so now we don't know any of the cards he has in hand. I think I end up swinging. I freeze something, go 8/8, and then what does that leave me? I'm so better. I calculated my Dawn so much better. Yeah, because 8/8 here allows us to. Yeah, we're just gonna Gloriosa bottom the Odin, so he just has 2 swings. So I think this is a fairly good play. Once again, we're in a scenario like if he doesn't have um now if he doesn't have like 10 drop Shanks, we actually are able to save this John for another turn. Potentially. I guess if he has another Law Beppo, we're kind of in a tough spot. But it so he needs so there's the other Law Beppo. He freezes the Gloriosa. Um Now at this point, wait a minute. I should just let the John go here, right? Because oh, no, now I shouldn't let the John go. And now I'm shitting myself again. Because once again, he's leaving up 3 Dawn. He would only swing this 8 if he has Luna, right? But let me think. So this is 2 cards, a 2K, and uh a Linlin effect. So this Beppo swing is 3 cards because I need to Shiki Newgate and whatever. Shiki Newgate. I can't think. Shiki Newgate Linlin effect. So I do save the John here just because it's less counter. Ditch the 10 drop. And then here, I'm considering, I think I can save it, but the fact that he has 3 Dawn open, I'm like, this John is not going to swing. It's getting like decent value currently. Um, and I'm probably just thinking to myself, like, if this dude has another Electrical Luna, I am just absolutely cooked. So let's see what happens. And there's the second Luna. So let's just recap. So my opponent from 10 Dawn has Shanks, Luna, La Beppo. I guess he didn't have Luna, but then he has La Beppo Luna. So it's like, and honestly, I don't think I'm that far off from winning this game. I just need to. I'm in a situation at this exact moment where I need to live like one more turn. That is not looking likely. I think my best shot is to have play like Captain John into like a Kaido. But even then, I don't think the math works out to where I could ever um get through. So here I should just swing a 5 at leader, right? I should not. Yeah, and I'm thinking like I just ditch Xebec. Um so I should just swing a 5 to keep the most cards possible in hand. Those aren't relevant. We're not going to trash for this. We shouldn't trash for this because then if we play Kaido, oh, actually, huh. Now that I'm looking at this, if he has, oh shit. I actually may be able to survive another turn here. What I think I should have done is, oh my god. No, wait, that's correct. We should John Kaido swing. We can swing 8. No, we have 2 Dawn left. We can swing or we can swing 10 into 8 on the Law Beppo, and then we have Kaido John. And that's our best chance of surviving. Because then we have a blocker. We have 2 blockers essentially. And well, how many cards in hand? We'd have 3 cards in hand though. So can't they just math us? There's no way I'm playing 10 drop here, right? Or no, I guess 10 drop. I'm thinking, what? Why am I playing 10 drop? Let's think about this. So 3 cards in hand is how much counter? It's essentially with Newgate Shiki, it is So I have 2/2 and a Shiki. He has to swing with leader first, right? If he goes like 10k, his best swing, if he was psychic and knew my hand, is to go, I guess, 11k because of the Lin. So that would require like 4 cards out of my hand. He goes out with leader. No, okay. Into the John. And we shouldn't block. So we let the John go. And then let's assume he can't rest the Kaido. If he can't rest the Kaido, then he's just gone 11 with leader. So he has 4 Dawn left. He wants to split evenly. So I need to get out of a 13. I have how many cards in hand? I only have 3 cards in hand though, right? Because we play John Kaido. We need to clear that Lin. Or we need to clear that Law Beppo. So we John Kaido, swing 10. My hand is... This is post-leader effect. So my hand is brick 2k, 2k. And if he can't rest the Kaido, then I think he just maths me, right? Because 13... It's a Shiki Newgate 2k, which is 13. So he just goes 13, 14, and he has math lethal. So I think no matter what, I'm dead here, which is unfortunate. Yeah. So wait, hang on. I just thought of another scenario. If I instead, wait, no, maybe the 10 drop is goaded. The only line in which I win here is 10 drop, Newgate, Captain John, and then reduce the Law Beppo. He has to have 2 bricks in hand. He has to not be able to save the Law Beppo, and then we can, if that dies, we now have... Wait, am I stupid? No, I have the same amount of cards in hand. What am I talking about? Why did I think playing the 10 drop would give me a 4th card? Am I crazy? Yeah, no, I'm just crazy. Sorry. I don't know what I'm thinking. Because 10 drop draws a card, but it doesn't matter. Right? Yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah, my bad. I don't know what the fuck I was thinking. Okay, we do the Captain John effect. And we pass. So here I'm just cooked, right? He doesn't have to do anything to me. There's just no way I have enough counter against all these swings. And it's just so unbelievably Jover. But, you know, what I always think to myself is, like, I would like to give my opponent an opportunity to misplay. He demands games. Yeah, rest those 2. Then he can just rest boat. Here I'm thinking about it. I'm like... Oh, I think I skipped Lin effect anyway, so... But yeah, I'm just dead. And he had another... actually, I don't know what he top decked. He could have top decked this Law Beppo. This would have tilted the shit out of me in life. I don't know if this is ordered. He might have had this 2k anyway. But he hit... What was his hand? No, his hand... I think his hand was Deadman's Kikanojo, and he just top decked the Law Beppo. So in that case, I would have killed the Law Beppo, but I was just like 1 card in hand short, right? I just needed 1 more card in hand. But I think if I do spend that 2k earlier, he did rest my Kaido though. If I had 1 more life here, oh, I do win. I think I might win if I have 1 more life here. Well, he could just like not go for lethal this turn, but then I get a block out of the Kaido. I don't know. I really think I should have 2K'd that 6 like way earlier in the game. I think if anything, that was my big mistake this game. Because it really is. I think you really want to stay healthy early in that matchup. So we start off with a loss, but you know it's bad matchup, bad curve, and I think we still kept it relatively close. I think that matchup could be like close to even. Okay, so we get the mirror. We're gonna keep this. We have 3, 5, 7. It's just good to play cards. I am not very experienced in the mirror. I need to gain a lot more. Um, but one thing I do know is that I just want to keep my board active. I ditched the Kaido, which is interesting. I think Kaido is underrated, and I really like it. I'm gonna play the Stussy here. So I think my worry is that he goes like 5-5 with those two, and I have like no counter in hand. Um, but he just goes 5 with leader. We take plays the John. And the John here is a little annoying because it actually, yeah, it does save him some counter. And I don't think there's really a way you can punish this because going second, you know that your opponent always wants to Lin on 5. And if they don't Lin on 5, it's good for you. I actually think, now that I think about it, ditching that Kaido was not a good idea. I probably should have ditched Kyo. And that's what I was thinking when watching this back. Because if instead I Kaido here, reveal 3 cards, clear this Captain John, I'm sort of just like a turn ahead of him. Yeah, I just get to have a 4-drop and then he just doesn't get a 4-drop. And then he can't really interact with my Kaido because if he plays like Gloriosa, like that's fine. Honestly, like this turn, I think about this a lot. Like if you Gloriosa here, bottom the Linlin, I don't really care about that. I'm just gonna play out a Newgate. The first person to Newgate has like such a big advantage. I mean, it's not terrible because the fact that the person going first can 3-drop, 5-drop makes this matchup very, very winnable. I think it's favored going second for sure, but it's not if you didn't have the ability to 3-drop, 5-drop, you might just be like cooked. Which is why I think like the teach mirror is so bad going second. The black yellow teach mirror is like you are just always playing one turn behind. So I don't know. I need to think about. I think there's this term called like mirror breaker where it's like I need to think about cards that help specifically in the mirror because I think Rocks is going to be very a very common mirror matchup. So I'm looking back at this. I think so. We don't want to rest the Linlin, right? Because next turn they're going to um actually I think I should think about this a bit more because if I generally just want to play Newgate. I think Newgate is really good here because I can swing 8 into the John and just clear it. Like he can't really save the John, and then I essentially get the same position I get with the Kaido, but I have a Linlin instead of the Kaido. So, but I do save 2K in hand with the Kaido, like alternate universe. Let's just see. I think I'm just gonna Newgate and swing into this. But I was gonna say it's like Shiki is really good. Obviously, it's like one of, if not the best card in the deck. I think probably Newgate's a little better. So you just swing 9. I maybe should just swing 8 because I get 2 cards out of hand anyway, and that does. If I swing 8, it allows me to play out maybe Strusen. Now I do want to think about resting this Linlin because their only way. Yeah, I think I should swing with this Linlin here, even though it only gets 1 card out of hand. The idea for him to interact with it, I mean, I guess he could just play second Newgate. That would actually be kind of difficult because then he can just swing 11 into Linlin. So maybe I don't rest the Linlin because I do only get 1 card. So I think I'm fine not resting it. I was gonna say if he, in order to interact with it, he needs to play Shiki and rest it, but he doesn't actually need to do that. He can just play a second Newgate and swing big into it with his leader and clear my Linlin, and then I'm just sort of like behind. He's got 2 Newgates and a Kyo, and I'll have a Stussy, and then probably playing out like, I mean, I can play like Newgate, Stussy, freeze one of his Newgates the following turn, which is actually not bad. Um, okay, let's see what he does here. Probably just swings 8. I think I'm just, no, we should just counter this, right? We have Linlin Newgate, so it's just too efficient to ditch 2 bricks. I think I'm gonna, yeah, give Kaido and another Newgate. I'm not playing 2 additional Newgates this game. And then let's see what he does. So I'm thinking about my next turn, 9 Dawn turn. It's probably just Newgate Stussy, freeze his, one of his characters, and then, sorry, I thought someone was knocking on my window. He plays a Linlin. Let me think about this. If I ditch 2, it would be like Kaido, John, and we're at about even, so I think I should just give him the draws. I think giving your opponent the draws is almost always better. The only scenario I could see it not being, if you can like, if discarding the 2 doesn't kill you and kills them next turn, like they need those resources in order to survive, obviously, you can trash 2. But I think that by and large, the only thing you want to do is let them draw. So he's got 3 left. He can freeze my Newgate, but I'm not upset about that at all because I'm probably not swinging with the Newgate anyway. So yeah, or give Marlon, pull back a 2K. I actually don't know if he has any 2Ks, so he does do that. Okay, it's like I debate in my head about swinging with a Newgate anyway, and you can see like he didn't swing with his Newgate, and he didn't like he didn't swing with like Linlin. Now this turn, I have to think a bit. I mean, it's Newgate. I think I'm thinking about just playing Marlon. That's why I was checking my trash for a 2K. Let me think about this. If I play Stussy, freeze their Newgate, are they going to want to... The question I need to ask myself is, like, do they want to swing with this Newgate next turn? And I just don't feel like they do. So I think it makes more sense to play the Marlon, but I think I end up playing the Stussy just because I think I'm just, like, afraid of a very aggressive turn from them, which I really feel like I shouldn't be afraid of it. I think I should just play the Marlon, pull back the 2K. And then I have a very wide board, and I can just play over with the 10. Okay, I am going for the Marlon. Good. I think this is the right play. We're going to swing 8 here. I think we just want to... So we just want to do 1 Newgate attack, right? Because if we do double, it makes it an easy take. Whereas if we just do 1, it's... either way, it's 2 cards. It's 2 cards out of hand or a life. And in my mind, those are fairly equivalent. So I don't want to just pitch a card for essentially no reason, because then I am, if I need him to, yeah, and he takes the life anyway. So he saved a card. So I think about this a lot where it's like, if I don't gain, if the 2 options my opponent has are roughly equivalent in terms of value to me, then I don't want to pitch the extra card. This comes up a lot in particularly yellow matchups where you have a Newgate, but you don't want to swing 8. A lot of times you just swing 5 because they want to take life. They want to trigger. So swinging the 5, the card out of hand and the card out of their life are often the same, like in terms of value. So you just save the card. 10 Dawn Hearn, definitely expecting a rocks here. So let's see. Like, what is the worst case scenario for me? Is like he can play like rocks. He has to like play over the Kyo now, which means on the crackback, I can just like clear his board. I think this is sort of a difficult spot for him because I have an extremely defensive board. I have Linlin and 2 Newgates and a lot of cards in hand. So if he 10 drops, it's still going to be difficult for him to rest any of his board. And if he doesn't rest his board, or if he doesn't start pressuring me, I think I have like about a 2-turn lethal on him. And then I can play like Rocks Shiki and just leave them standing and then really just start putting the pressure on. Which it's kind of confusing. I think because I got the John, I'm just in a better spot. And I did see Newgate 3 drop, which was really important. Um, this, yeah, this is very interesting because I think I'm ahead here, but I guess I don't really understand in my mind like why I'm ahead. Because I guess I was just able to go wider. I did see like pretty ideal curve, but so did he. Like he saw. Wait, when did he play the? No, I guess his last turn. Yeah, his last turn was not ideal with the Linlin Stussy. Maybe he should just play out like another Newgate or just a Shiki and leave it standing. But I don't think he can rest his board. I think maybe my aggression is just too high. Let's see what he does here. I think he thinks for like a while. Let's see. Yeah. Yeah, he's really thinking. I don't want to skip too far forward because I don't want to skip like his play. But I don't have anything rested, and uh his board is like not that threatening. My board is extremely threatening. Really taking his time. I mean, this is probably from him the most critical turn. Okay, I don't want to say anything. I think this is an insane mistake for my opponent. I I can't like even if you don't have 10 drop, I think you just want to play good characters still, right? He chooses to bounce my Newgate with the event to my hand, and I feel like this just auto wins me the game. I I really I guess the thought process from him, maybe he didn't have a 10 drop and he's thinking how do I put the board as much as I can in my favor without um without 10 drop. Another thing I need to do in the mirror is just like always observing what they have. I think this is just an easy take, right? I mean, I can Newgate. Yeah, I just take this. So I want him to swing at me with his board. He does swing the Linlin, so this is an easy Newgate Linlin. And I'm thinking, yeah, I have to give up 2k either way. So I should definitely counter this Newgate hit, right? Linlin Newgate, and then triple 2k, this 10 from Newgate. If he goes 10 with Newgate, no matter what he goes with Newgate, if he goes with Newgate, we counter it, right? All right. I think this next turn for me is going to look a little weird, specifically because of a decision that he makes, which I think that this last part is smart. I'll get to it. Once he eventually passes his turn, which he's taking a while to do. He's taking a little while to pass his turn. Please pass your turn, sir. He's really thinking about like, does he want to swing with X or Y or whatever? God, my turn is gonna look so weird. Okay, so he leaves 2 active, which obviously is for the Usopp event. Now, the Usopp event in this, I think I get a little mind controlled here. Because the Usopp event in this scenario, I don't think is like particularly good. Because, man, this is actually like a very, very interesting situation. Because the Usopp event would theoretically be used to save his Linlin, which I don't think, obviously, what this ends up doing is, because he left 2 active, it makes me frame all of my decisions on this turn based around whether or not he can Captain John and leave, like, Captain John, I don't know, something like Kaido Gloriosa. Probably Captain John Gloriosa, um, and leave 2 active is like probably the best turn from him the following turn if he has the Usopp event, because I'm at 2 life and I'm not in a great position to survive a lot of turns because I haven't been able to really, because none of his board is really rested. And what's a crazy thing here is I actually think his bouncing of my Newgate was insane. But if I did the same thing, oh no, he has the Kyo actually. Never mind. He has the Kyo, so I can't bounce his Newgate back. Um, but say he didn't have the Kyo, say that was like another 3-drop. If instead I did the same thing I criticized him on, I bounced his Newgate and like bottomed his Linlin, and then he just has 2 3-drops. I have a blocker, I have 2 life, and I just swing out with my whole board. He is in a tough spot. But we're not in that scenario. So I think here I should hit play so we eventually get through the game. I think here, it's really I'm like scrambling. I do not know what to do because I feel like if I try to pressure his life, which is really what I want to do on this turn, if I pressure his life and he does have that Captain John Usopp event, um, I'm not going to be able to survive the amount of turns that I would want to. But then again, he has to keep a lot. He has to, I think, he has to keep a lot on board, right? Because if he goes for Captain John, he needs to keep Kyo. So it needs to be Captain John, Kyo. Probably it's going to be Newgate, Ten Mom. Oh wait, not Ten Mom. Wait, no, it can't be Xebec because he needs to leave 2 active. So it's going to be another 4-drop. I mean, his most defensive would be to crack the Stussy. So he'd have to John, like, crack the Stussy. Yeah, I really shouldn't be afraid. I think I shouldn't be afraid of the Captain John Usopp event because in order to have that combo, he needs to have a fairly weak board. And because he would have a fairly weak board, he can't pressure me enough in order for that Usopp event to matter. So I think I should just not. I think I should just probably swing out all at leader here and then just go for like a 10-drop Shiki, swing into the Big Mom. Like if he has the event and wants to save the Big Mom on the Shiki swing, fine. Like my board is insane. My board is Stussy, Linlin, Newgate, 10-drop Shiki, and I have a billion cards in hand. I have like an insane amount of counter potential. I shouldn't have let that happen. But it is a very interesting it is a very interesting thought, especially in like closed deck list. If my opponent doesn't know, if they have no idea whether or not I have Usopp event, then you can just do a turn where you like, let's say you like 10-drop or 10 Dawn turn, you like Shiki, swing like 9 with leader, swing out with board, leave 2 active. Because maybe they think like, oh, he has 2 active because he wants to save his Shiki, and then they could get mind controlled in the exact same way. But anyway, so I swing twice at leader. I didn't want to swing the 7 at leader because that's an easy Newgate effect. So I end up swinging 7 at the Linlin just so that the Linlin swing gets real counter, and then I can go potentially 2 8s at lead. I think here I should just go 8 at leader and see what he gives me. He's probably the thing is, if I go 8 at leader, he just gives me the life. So I think what I should do is target this Linlin at this point because if he wants to use that Usopp event, he still needs to give me 2 cards out of hand in order to initiate it. So I think probably I was thinking about just swinging like 8/8 here because he needs to give me 2/2Ks in that scenario, which is really good in that it lowers the amount of counter in his hand a lot. But then it's like a question of what I play out. And I think this I mean, I want to play 10 drop for sure, right? But I don't know exactly what else I want to do. Let me look at my hand. Actually, 10 drop, what's looking good is 10 drop Newgate Stussy. And then yeah, I should really just oh my god, I have 10 drop Newgate Stussy. I should have just swung entirely at his well no, this 7 should go at Linlin because that gets native counter. But then I should go 8 at lead. The next thing I should do is I should go 8 at leader with Newgate. Get 2 cards out of hand. He goes to 6. There's a potentially he takes. If he takes, I 10 drop Newgate Stussy, ditch Lin or I ditch Lin for leader effect, and then ditch 2 cards, swing 11. He probably goes to like 1. And then I just don't think he's in a good spot for even if he has the John. Because if he has the John, I'm like insanely defensive. We end up going for okay, this is interesting. I think because he's so low on cards. Okay, let me explain this play because this doesn't look super good if I'm being honest. Um because he's very low on cards in hand. So I think I'm calculating killing this Linlin. Let's see, he has 8 cards in hand, so he needs to go down to in order to save the Linlin with the Usopp event, he would need to go down to let's see. So save with the Kyo, Usopp event, ditch. He would need to go down to 3 cards in hand, and then I have 2 blockers, Newgate, Linlin, and 10 drop. So I think like there are a lot of paths to victory here. But I think this is still like good. Has he used? I don't think he's used Linlin effect yet. So yeah, we should just go 8 into 4. Gives us it, and now we can go 8 at lead. So I think this is still good. Like our board is like so much bigger. We have 2 blockers now, so I don't think that this is a bad play. We sort of get the. I think that this is my justification in my thought process at the time was that it gives us like we are so defensive at this point with Linlin, Newgate, 2 blockers, and we are roughly equal in hand size and life that I just thought that there's no way that I can lose from this position, even if he goes for the Captain John thing, because I'm just gonna do some shit where I just like play a Shiki and I just like obliterate him. As I play Shiki and then swing into his John, I might not even reduce it. And then I just like get all of the cards out of his hand, and then because I have Shiki, Newgate, Linlin, and a billion cards in hand, there's just no way he can ever kill me. And that's a lot of the reason I think that the Usopp event is like a little fake, is it kind of takes too many cards in hand to make it possible. Your deck is already so good at like converting those bricks into counter and value that I don't really see a place for it. I do want to mess around with it and just like casual games to see how it feels. I think it could be like a tricky like one of if your opponent's board is just like massive and you like I said, I think it can clutch out like an additional turn from like Mihawk or something like that. So he does go for a 10 drop into a Shiki. So he's just looking to probably target my Newgate. Yeah, he does target my Newgate. I think I just instant block this. My board is full, so I always want to get this Gloriosa off the board. So I'm just gonna instantly block the Gloriosa. Now he has now I gotta calculate like what he has. So he has 8/8/5. The 5 we could free block potentially. I think I am gonna free block the 5 and then just give 4 2Ks. This keeps my entire actually no, I don't even have to free block. I can actually just give Linlin Well, hang on. I should free block this, right? Because I'm giving 2k, 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 2k no matter what. So I should just free block this. I think I end up giving... I see the Lin effect, and I'm like, ooh, Lin effect. But I really should just free block this. Because I don't want to give up my Kaido. Oh, actually, maybe I can Lin to save a little bit of counter. Oh, yeah, no. Now I... No, wait. I should free block that. Okay. I should free block that, and I've figured it out. No, wait. I shouldn't free... I can't decide. No, it's like two different ideas. My thought was that if I don't free block that, I could Kaido 2-1 with Lin. But if I don't free block that, then if I have to, I need the 1k from Lin. So it's the same either way, I guess. Because now I have to block. If I was gonna block with Kaido, so I should probably just free block that. Because if I free block that, yeah, I should just free block that. Because in this scenario, I'm giving 2k. Yeah. I got baited by the Lin effect. I save one card if I just free block. And they can't pressure the Kaido because I can still just 2k, 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 2k. But we just saved the Nugate here because we're cashing in on our cards in hand value. And now it's just gonna be a wrap. Like there is just nothing. I don't know if there's anything that he can do. I think just starting with like 8s at leader is extremely good here because it's just gonna whittle down their hand. I'm still not in a position where I'm gonna die like ever. Like worst case scenario, he like counters out of a lot of these swings, and then I either clear his board or I can just stun his whole board with I have 2 Stussies in hand. And if he counters out too much, I can just like Gloriosa bottom deck. Actually, Gloriosa is not very good here. So we're gonna start swinging 8s. I go 8 with the Lin. I save so I go 8 with the Lin here because I think to myself like there is a possibility that if he takes this, then I probably just swing like 12 at lead and then like a billion at lead. So I think I swing 8 here because it's like if he counters this, then I probably pivot. But if he takes this, then I think he's just dead. So now at this point, I think similar scenario. I swing 8 with leader because I think like I'm thinking like there is a chance that he uh has like 2 2Ks, but then I just clear his board. So maybe there's a way I can math lethal him. Has he used Newgate effect yet? Use Shiki. Let's see. Did he? Yes. So he just used Newgate effect. So there's a chance. So if I go, no, he used Newgate effect, right? Oh wait, this is just math. Hang on, I'm trolling actually. This is just math lethal. Because I have 9 takes. Oh no, it's not math. Oh no, wait, I have this is 9. Yeah, no, I have math. 9, and then I have 11 with Kaido, and then I have like 15 with rocks. Okay, it's just math. I should just kill him here. He's dead. But I don't see that in the moment, I think. I think I'm just in a lot of these moments where I have even if I even if I have a guaranteed what I perceive to be a guaranteed lethal line, I think to myself like I sort of distrust my own knowledge of the game where I think to myself like, oh my god. Okay, so hang on. I swung 8, he 2k 2Ks. So now we can't kill him because he has 2 life. So now we just pivot to board, right? We can do something like we're probably just gonna go for a Stussy, freeze, Newgate, freeze, 10 drop, and then I can clear both. Or no, freeze, 10 drop, freeze, Kyo, and then I can. What am I doing? What? What? Wait, what? What? That's weird. Freeze 10 drop freeze. Am I letting his? I'm letting his 10 drop swing. I guess I'm just thinking like, oh, I'll just use Glorios as a blocker. Oh, I can actually go 8 at Newgate, 12 at Shiki, play Stussy over Kaido to freeze Kyo. That seems a little weird because my other like line had a stronger board. Like just instead of playing this Gloriosa, we use the Stussy to freeze 10 drop. Not that there's any way for him to get lethal here, but I don't think there's any way that he can prevent lethal from us. So we're just waiting around for him to make his turn, looking at his time, hoping he times out. I want to skip forward, but I really shouldn't, because I do not know. Okay, let's see. He bottoms our Kaido. That's fine. Wait, why did he bottom our? Wait, what? Wait, did he bottom our Kaido? Why would he do that? Oh, no, he bottomed our Stussy. So he bottoms our Stussy, swings into here. I'm doing exactly. Swings into our Newgate a bunch. We just let it go. He uses the Gloriosa. He top deck, so we just 2K. It doesn't matter. Like 2K this. So now in this scenario, he's just dead, right? We go 5, 7, 9. What am I doing? Just kill him. Okay, just concede. Why? I don't know. I think I don't know why I played Shiki there. He's just dead. Like I just go 5, 7, 9 a billion. Like there is no universe in which he survives. But you know, I play too safe. I'm sort of a coward. So all right, we get game number. What are we on? Game number 3 at this point, I think. Versus a Nico Robin. I've been seeing this deck a lot. I think I'm gonna have to split this up into 2 videos because this is actually going for like a while, like 2-hour long videos. I've been seeing this deck actually a lot because running the new like Big Mom stuff. We get a very good start. We opt to play the Kyo over the Marlon just because I really want to see my curve. I think I was still looking for the Linlin at that point. I don't know, I kind of missed that. And we'll just swing 5. We just get to go through a lot of our deck. This is why like I've seen some people drop like Strusen to like 3 or like I don't think anyone's dropping Kyo down, but just like being able to filter through your deck early to see your curve is like so important and good. I played this matchup a decent amount. I went back and forth on this play a lot. I end up I think 2K'ing this. I really have been liking. I really want an event here, just so that I can Marlin it back later on like my 9-Don turn. But I just end up 2K'ing this. I really like just staying extra healthy versus Robin because I just think it gets you the win. Like I just think if you and I get 2Ks now, so we're in a good spot. I'm gonna ditch probably Marlon or Stussy. Yeah, there's no events in my trash, and I want to keep these 2Ks in hand, so we're just gonna ditch the Marlon. We have another one to play later if we really want to. I just want to stay like super healthy in this matchup because I feel like the later swings when he has like the full board are like harder to can be like really difficult. Like they make a lot of like awkward 8K swings. And it's banished, so I don't like draw a card off of it. So I think it's just good to anyway, that's a 5-minute explanation of why I counter. All right, so 8 Don here. I feel like we're in a good spot. Getting the Linlin out on 5 in this matchup particularly is I think super important because if they want to play on curve, that means that they have to swing 5 at your leader, and then you can just get the Linlin effect instead of the 2Ks. Here 10K swing. even I'm not gonna counter out of that. You can go ahead. I mean, I think about it for like a second. I don't even have the counter. I can only go up to 10. So now 7 Dawn, probably just gonna Shiki. Swing like 5-7 in a leader. I'm not too worried about 10 Mom because I have 2/2Ks Lin effect, so um I can, if he wants to. Oh, but we find a new gate. We find a new gate, and I think the new gate is just better because the Shiki does not really allow us to. And that's actually why leader affected first before playing anything. The Shiki effect isn't like super relevant until they start putting their 10 drops sideways. This is why I was saying that, like, I think he blocks that 5, which is interesting. Um, this is why I don't know why I played this new gate first. Just swing with the big mom. Not that there's like a trigger they have that could interact with the 6 cost anyway. But what was I gonna say? Yeah, I think just playing new gate out is almost always just better. Because if they big mom now, they can't really pressure my Lin. I can just 2k for the Lin. It's not like a big deal. I don't need that Shiki effect, and this new gate being able to save my leader from swings is like really nice. So he swings 8 of the Kyo. Don't care about the Kyo too much. The only thing that they really have that can pop stuff is like, I really don't think they should swing at the Kyo there because I'm going to 9. I guess it swings like another. I think they get 2 cards out of my hand with this swing, and the Kyo I think is only going to get 1 card out of their hand. So I'm not sure swinging at the Kyo there was a good idea. So now I can just Lin this, and then if I want, I can Newgate 2K, which I think I do want. My hand, once again, I like staying healthy in this matchup. I think staying healthy in general, if you can afford it, is good because your late game is so good. Yeah, this should just go at leader. I don't know why he just like. I think because but I've used Lin effect, right? And I think in his head, he's thinking, oh, the swing at leader just gets like negated, but the power differential is 2k more. So I still need to give a card for Newgate. So I need to give like a card and a 2k in order to swing out of that. And I think they need to start crushing my life. Because if I keep staying as healthy as I am, there's just never going to be a scenario in which they kill me. So I think Shiki here is good. I'm thinking about like the sweet commanders. I want to clear these 2 for sure, right? I think 100 times out of 100, I want to clear these 2. I think I should probably just Shiki. What am I on? 9 Dawn. I can also Newgate Stussy, freeze 1, and then that allows me to get a lot of swings on leader, and then I have Stussy later to freeze like the big large drops. Big large drops. But probably should just play the Shiki. Yeah. Swing into there. We're not gonna reduce, right? And a similar scenario, I can save cards in hand if I just go a 6 into this smoothie. I'm just probably gonna leader effect, draw 2, and then not Newgate effect, and then I can swing 2 8s into their leader. Yeah, I like this. I like this a lot. Our hand is insane. Our board is pretty good. I dude, I think about this a lot. So that 2K at the very beginning of the game, I was kind of kicking myself at this point because I was like, I don't have a 10 drop. I thought that I would find a 10 drop at some point between then and now, but I just have not found it. Which is to me crazy that I haven't found it. They do play the 3 sweet generals. It's not that bad because so like even if they clear like their board is just like so not it that it's like really just I don't care if they even if they get both of my dudes here. But I think I can just basically guarantee the game if I can just like save. I just need to save one of these. I think I misplay here because I end up so I'm calculating this. I should just let this go, and then the swing on this is just, yeah, it's just like 2K. It's 2K, right? Yeah, I can't use Linlin effect. But I think in my head, because I could use Linlin effect here, I I end up countering this, which is just like -1 card, because I have to Shiki 2/2 Linlin effect. Whereas in this, actually, that's way worse. This one, I just have to 2/2. Yeah, this is gonna be a mistake from me. I should just let this go. I think a lot of times you can overthink these spots, right? Or overvalue your, like, this is a 12k swing into a 5k body. This, if you think about that, that's 7k of wasted potential, or I don't know how to put it. It's a very good value to just let it go. But my dumbass is like deliberating here. I don't know why I would save this. I don't have the counter. I'm like out of counter in hand, right? Um, so I do end up saving this, but I should just let it go. And then here, just, I don't know why I'm thinking, should just ditch. I have 3 Stussies. What the fuck? I have 3 Stussies in hand. Why did I should just I'm gonna need all of these Stussies, okay? I'm gonna need every single one of these Stussies. I just end up ditching the Shiki. He goes 6 into my Big Mom. That's actually really good for me. I think, so he's keeping out 1 for Giant. I had no counter left, so he could have just cleared my Newgate. But I guess he doesn't know that. Here, we're just clearing the Big Mom 100 times out of 100. And then probably just playing a Stussy to get rid of or just stun the generals, right? And then probably ditching like Gloriosa we don't really need, I don't think. And then here's a scenario, we're just going to swing 5. Like, there is not really a point to swinging 8 here. They kind of want to take this. And if they counter and then Giant and don't get a trigger body, I think I'm happy. They have just like no... And they end up not Gianting. So like swinging 8 there actually, once again, I think was just a waste of a card. Because, yeah, they want to take life. They want to take life. So you just like make it difficult for them to take life. Or you save your own cards in hand by not ditching cards. Anyway, go for a 5. I think we just Newgate this, yeah. We're a little low in hand size, but our board is so insane that it just like does not matter what they do. In this scenario, I just want to swing out with like my whole board, right? I have a onboard Stussy and another Stussy in hand. So I'm just gonna immediately freeze this in case there's a trigger that interacts with my Stussy. I want to be able to make sure that I get the freeze on the Newgate. He ends up gianting. Yeah, then it's just gonna be like 3 9Ks. You know, if he has another giant, he has to go to 8 Dawn and he can't play Big Mom. So it's just going to be 3 9Ks. I don't really care about trigger bodies at this point because I'm freezing like his whole board with Stussy. And with 2 Stussies on board the following turn, assuming they both live, which, you know, they might not. I can just double Stussy and then Gloriosa to bottom deck one of the lower cost trigger bodies, and then just like his whole board is like frozen once again. Like Stussy is fucking crazy. So we swing 9. He does get 2 trigger bodies out of life, which is kind of unfortunate. We are gonna pitch here because we do want him to take life. We do want to put him down to 0. He is going to giant, which is also good for this. That means he goes down to 8 Dawn, so we can't buff the board with like another 10 Mom play. So he is going to have 2 attackers because we're just going to play Stussy, freeze. Now, I don't know why I think about this so much. I think my thought process is I want to keep 3. It doesn't matter in this matchup, but sometimes I make decisions as if they did matter. Like the fact that Sweet 3 Generals is harder to bottom deck with, or you can't bottom deck it with Gloriosa. So it actually is better to keep that standing, meaning that if they swing in, then I can clear it that way and bottom deck one of the other two. But it doesn't. It's not. It's not important because I'm freezing two of them anyway, so I can just freeze it next turn. So anyway, just just kind of one of those things where I like overthink these like smaller scenarios because there's like representative like principles that I'm thinking about rather than like this exact scenario. So they play out a pudding. It's just like Jover. Like they need like 3 electrical lunas or some shit like that. Um, they end up swinging there. That's fine. Just let it go. I don't need to clear his whole board, and this just like keeps me healthy. So, um, this turn I'm thinking, okay, they're just dead. Like they have 3 active Dawn. Sorry, I thought someone was at my door. They have 3 active Dawn. So really, like if they like triple giant, it doesn't really like matter. I guess they could be running something like slow beam. Um, I think about resting like the Stussy, but I think at this point, like they're just dead. Maybe if I thought they were just dead, that I should attach Dawn and swing with the Stussy first. But still, I don't like to commit to a play. I want to. Oh, they fuck up there. They just take that. I think they maybe thought I swung with the Newgate because I still had like a lot of counter in hand. And then I end up like calculating like what they would have had. But I think they were just like dead because they give us like a 1K. They're at like 7 cards in hand. Wait, let's see. So they took the life after gianting. I think they're at 6, right? Because they don't take the life and they have to give another 1K. And then they have like what is that? Like 4 1Ks and a 2K in hand. They get a 1K from life. Yeah, they're unbelievably dead. All right. Well, weren't those some fun games? Went 2-1. Not too bad. I think the Mihawk game was a little tragic, and I think there are ways that I can play that matchup better. I think it's Xebec is such a strong deck. You can a lot of times get away with a lot of wins where you do not play well. Um, and I think that's just something that I really want to work on, making sure that I am playing as well as I possibly can. So hopefully you found this video helpful. If you did, go to like, subscribe. I want to make more like this in the future. And like I said, maybe some commentary videos. So let me know what you'd like to see, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.